important if you're Māori, because I was born in the 50s and I can tell you the 60s wasn't a lot of fun to be a Māori person. To be a brown person in this country wasn't a lot of fun. It's still kind of hard on a bad day in 2018, but it was not great. And so what happened in the 70s and 80s was we radicalised, and that was because in the 90s and 50s and 60s we came to town. And that's when we got education, we got access to a whole range of things, and we realised that the poverty that existed in our rural communities was destroying us. And so we went to town, we got empowered, we got motivated, we became stroppy and obstreperous and vocal. We protested, we marched. At least we weren't the Basques. Be grateful. They blew shit up. Māori got angry, we went for a walk, for God's sake. You know, so, is that okay? And so the 50s, the 60s, all of that, I mean, the fact that any of this had to happen is a consequence of New Zealand's history. So this is a moment in New Zealand's history. And more importantly, it's a moment in our Māori history. This is a celebration of a community that had, at that point, survived 140 years of colonisation. That nearly destroyed Māori people. It nearly destroyed Māori language. It almost destroyed Māori art. So this is very much an example of a people being reborn. And the fact that you can trace your ancestry to individuals here must be a source of great pride. Because in 500 years, in 1,000 years, in 2,000 years, your descendants will be able to go to a gallery somewhere and go, that's great Uncle Uppy. And guess what? We're still here. We survived the worst of it. We kept our language. We kept our culture. We kept our genealogy. And paintings like this, art like this, remind us all that we are a richer nation because of it, and that Māori people will never, ever die. We are survivors. That's what this piece of art tells me, John. So thank you. So, are there any thoughts, reflections? And I'm sorry about I'm from the north, I have potty mouth. I think it might be the Irish grandfather. I blame him for the alcoholism as well. So, are there any thoughts or comments that you would like to share about this piece of work, about John's work, or about the 80s? Sorry about the hair. What were we thinking? Really? Come on, you fellas. Have a say. Cheapest dates in Wellington. No hope for any of you. Yes. Okay, but if you give another lecture, I will stop you.
Well, it looks like a number of us are guilty of giving lectures. I just needed to clarify this because it's important as a nation. My wife is Scottish. We started intermarrying in a big way in the 50s. We are now a different people. Maori people are a different people. We are a new race. We have new ideas, we have new experiences, we live in a totally new environment. And we can't go backwards, we have to go forwards, but we must retain the purity of our knowledge in the past. That's very important. Pākehā people who are around here today are not guilty of what happened a long time ago. Because we're all in the same boat, we're all New Zealanders, but I happen to be Maori and I'm of mixed blood. I think it was important to say that. And those are the things that we discovered as artists. That a lot of our artists, a lot of my artists who are now in their 80s were married to non-Maoris. And they formed new generations, their new children, and we fed off Maori culture and international culture. I just needed to say that.
Bravo. Kia ora, Kare.
Would you like mine to say? No tiatanga mate, mama. Ara ko no tiatanga, sorry, tiatanga Witi tuku mama, tiatanga Witi mama. And I just wanted to mihi kia koutou ngā kai koutu. Puku whanau hoki. But to you particularly, John, because well, what a legacy that you've created for us. And it's still relevant today because it provides us with a really unique and real connection to our people. Those of us that have lived for a large period of time away from the kaina, that we can still look back and see some faces. And this fella over here actually, that fellow over there, Jim Marina,
yes.
Bessie actually brought my mum up, so I can't sit here silently while he's there looking at me. So I wanted to mihi to you, and I think as we go forward into the future, this is still going to be relevant. It's about timing, and it's about how we use the messages, how we use the images in various ways to make them relevant also to our millennials. My son is one of them today. And so I just wanted to mihi to you. This is never going to lose fashion. It's always going to be relevant, and that was the message, I suppose, because as we go further ahead, we need these things to keep us anchored to who we are, to our identity, to our whānau, and to all those beautiful things that keep us looking back to Te Aita Ngā Hauiti. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā rawa te koutou.
Very much. And also for reminding us these are real people with descendants who will always be able to me out to kia rātou.
Just a short thing in response. I was just a young man in my 20s when I did this, and most of these works. And no matter what was in my head at the time, and no matter what was going on in everyone else's head, and controversy or whatever that was, it doesn't really, that's sort of like packed away in the past now. It's got a new life anyway.
They are now officially immortal. Any other whakaaro that you'd like to share? Kia ora.
Kia ora koutou, my name is Lisa. Api right here above Ella is my grandfather. And I remember growing up in Uawa, and I remember John painting this at the wharf, which is the 7th one in Narrabri Wells. Tiger Bay Wharf and the big shed at the back, and I remember thinking how amazing it was. And always wondered whatever happened to John and whatever happened to this mirror. And seeing the faces, because I grew up in this time, this painted, I recognised a lot of the faces on this thing. Our Nani Polly over here, the great-granddaughter, is sitting over there with her mum over there. A lot of whakapapa is coming from this mural, and it speaks to us all, I think. So thank you for bringing it out again and showing it to us. And my Uncle Witi sitting at the other end over there has always ignited my passion for reading and writing and whatnot. So you two have been quite prominent in my growing up, I suppose. So yeah, everybody, this is awesome. Really happy to see you.
Please come join us if you'd like to be heard, or if, like me, you have a power voice.
did you ask permission and from various people, so many of them, or did you feel a need to ask permission from those individuals? And secondly, did these people sit for you, or did you work from a photo? Some getting down to.
Yeah.
So can I reiterate that for others in the room? Did you ask permission, was that?
Did John ask permission of
Yes.
wonderful people before their portrait was...
And did they sit? Was that the second
Did
part?
they sit, or did John work from a photo?
Thank you.
You know, in a small community, you can't do things without right. So yeah, no, everybody was agreed to have their portraits on here. Some of them came over and posed for me. Tula, Renata, a few of the young ones. They came over to play ping pong. I had a ping pong table set up. But most of them were from photographs. I'd been taking photographs in the community for some time, just at like Anzac parades, different community events. So I had a stack of photos anyway, so that was quite easy. That answer there.
I just want to acknowledge John for what he has done here today. I grew up in Tolaga. I didn't really know you, John, probably before you were up. However, I do know all these people here. As Witi was saying not long ago, we have our Uncle Aki there. He's my father's brother. My father was the oldest of the whānau. His sister was Aunt Polly. I've got a sister down the bottom there, Bobby. I've got a niece down the bottom there as well that's Katarana. I've got Uncle Rua that's there. I've got Bert Lawrence there. John Smith, I think is one of them. Papa Api, Prophet. Titi Tangahau, Madeline. There's so many people there that we know, that we're familiar with. And it's so beautiful to see them. You know, I'm just wondering today, what's your ideas of maybe, what's going to be participating after this?
You know, I've done my thing. It's up to the people. It's up to the people. I know Wayne has had a lot to do with helping to get this exhibition together. He's been great pulling the DVD down and getting them involved again because it's been a long time away from who are. And he's gone back and he's having those conversations in the community.
For all of us, I hope that something great comes out of this. I mean, like I'm saying, it's a change for us, and so Darcy, say not for the world that's changed.
Yeah.
Like Darcy, we're Irish as well. We have Irish partners. And I'm very, very proud that you've done this with all of Whakaata. I'm so proud. Ngā mihi ki ake. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā rākataka.
I think one of the take-homes I'll get from this corridor is the interesting idea of whether the artist needs to ask permission, because the art is going to manifest itself, and that's what the artist is. They are the voice of the story, the image, the film, the poem, the music. And I think of all of the great artists, and I think, did anybody else ever they had permission to do, that naked guy thinking? Or that ceiling? Well, I know he had permission to do the ceiling. I got that one. But what he put on the ceiling. So, it's a really interesting thing that we have this discussion about art with artists, because it's, for me, been wonderful to learn about John's journey with this painting, and then to see all of these other pieces of work. Because I truly think, and you said it as well, I think, Darcy, that the artist is on this journey. And the journey is all of your work, but it is all of your stories, and all of the people who see it and appreciate it and understand it. And that's maybe what is the great magic of art, and organisations like Ngā Puna Waihanga, which you were instrumental in creating, and the schemes that you were part of creating and teaching new artists. All of those are about perpetuating the skills and the confidence for all of us to be able to use the art forms to tell these important moments in history. Like I said, 500 years from now, your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to look up there and find their place in the world. But did the artist need permission? I don't know. Does the artist need permission? Where does that permission come from? I think it comes from inside of you. Are there any other... Ooh, hello, they're wrapped up now. One, and then two, and then three.
I'd just like to ask the question, have you approached, or has the Papa approached you about the mural, or would you rather it stay in your community?
Has Te Papa approached you?
No, Te Papa hasn't approached me. I'm wondering about that, because of course it would be best if it went back to Te community, but it is a very small community, and it's impoverished in a lot of ways. And to house this today, as Alice said, you know, if it hadn't gone up on the marae, but not in the marae, as I think it's been alluded to. I never wanted that. It was always going to be as a shelter for the manuhiri, the visitors as they come on. So it was over there. It wasn't part of the marae Aotea. Anyway, that's a long time ago. But if people back home are unable to raise the funds to, you know, there's no building there that can house it. If it's going to last another 500 years, then it needs to have a proper home. And that costs a lot of money, and I don't know whether if the community is going to be able to do that. And then it would be great if Te Papa come and talk to me at that point. Yeah, but at the moment, Darcy and I have had a little conversation about that. And as things develop, we'll see where it goes. But you know, all bets are on at the moment. The horses are lining up.
So there was a question from here.
Kia ora katoa me te tēnei, I uri Pākehā hau. Te mihi atu ki te kāhui nei o kā takata. Aha koe Pākehā ka tū ki te mihi I roto te reo o Kaitahu nā te mea kei rana te whakaruru hau. O te mana whenua o aua Hawaii ko au tēnei. Nō reira ka te mihi hoki kia o koutou, te rauraka tera mā. Darcy, I told a lie to B and Z. I told them that we were painting our house so that Dunedin and I could buy 2 of her paintings. It's painting, eh? It's just not only part of the house. And every day when I walk up my stairs to my bedroom, we have a karaka ki taranaki, and we have also the faces of the people in the land. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I was just thinking, on my work table at school, we have silent reading every day, what a treasure. And the book of short stories with your beautiful cover is my coloured reading. And if my girls don't have a reading, they say, oh, can we have something from there? So, I guess I'm thinking with eyes about our relationship with the land, and I was interested, Darcy, when you said about a new people. Because I think one of the issues for my people is what our relationship is. I'm born from this place, and my son certainly is, and his whenua is in the land. So I'm thinking if we gave Mr. Walsh a new task to do, and if he were to paint a mural afresh to think about relationships of people to the land now. I'm also thinking about some images I saw in some temples in Laos and Thailand, where the sacred and not profane, that's not the word, the noa, those things are interwoven in everyday practice. It's very, very close. So you have temple offerings on the street, and you see in the temple Pac-Man and Pokemon and rap artists and all sorts of contemporary things that are tucked like a storyteller in a beautiful book for children, where you look for the mouse on each page. You know, there's something that directly connects with today's world. So what would that mural be like if we're talking now about a new revolution happening, built on the successes of those amazing people of the 80s, so that now we have a reo and a resurgence in iwitanga, whatever that may be, that's taking us to new places and new conversations. Just a simple answer, Kia.
Am I supposed to respond to that?
I will. That's one as well.
You know, in a way, for me, I'll pass this on to Darcy and maybe even Witi's, you know. I painted this 40 years ago, roughly, and I've continued to work, and the issues that you talk about are always close to what I'm working on today. And if you hunted through my contemporary work, it's all, you know, those things are still there, those things that are important to me anyway. Come on.
So Ella, I've just come back from London. This is only my second day back in the country. And there I went to the Oceania exhibition. Now, the interesting thing about the Oceania exhibition, John, is that it's divided into two pieces. One part is all of these taonga from Melanesia, Micronesia, Australanesia and Polynesia, so it gives us a different look at what we are. And as a Māori, I went into it thinking, well, where are we? And couldn't find we at first, and then realised that we are the whole exhibition. So what's happening in the world is that the same kind of relationships are happening. And at the same time, we have Yuki Kihara's video installation, Siva in Motion. We have Lisa's exhibition on Captain Cook, her video installation. We have John Pulle's huge canvas. So all of us, as you said, Darcy and you, John, we're all engaged in trying now to recreate who we are in that wider world perspective. And what we were doing, what you were doing here, John, was recreating us in a local perspective. And it's really an interesting question for me that had this mural gone up in Tonga, then other local places may have taken their course from it, so that we are not the only ones who would then be celebrating our tupuna, but we would be celebrating those tupuna in Whitianga, down there in the South Island. We would be celebrating them everywhere. As to what we would look like in the future, I said in a recent lecture, and I'd like just to read it here, that in a population of 4.6 million, the average age of a Pākehā is 49 years. The average age of a Māori is 23. The average age of a Pacific person of Pacific descent is 21. So sorry, Auckland, but Pākehā will be a minority in a decade.